Greetings everyone, this is Reed. You're watching MOI, and I'm out here, outside, making a video for all of you, the people. I'm just imitating the Wolf Bit. I don't know if you ever heard of that channel. He's makes cooking, all sorts of like that. And as preppers, I do like to watch cooking channels because I gotta make that surplus food taste good somehow. Anyways, I just thought I'd imitate him for a second, because he always says, I'm doing this for you, the people. If you haven't heard of his channel, you can go check it out. Now, I'm going to do some quick shout-outs here because I consider it good to keep bringing up more people in the community. And there's lots of good people in the community. Instead of, just the few big preppers that are out there that people get recommended all the time and there's those big channels. It's good to see all sorts of other people because other people have other ideas, they bring up other things, and there's people better at other things than I am. If you think I'm perfect, you got the wrong guy. You need to go elsewhere. I got tons of problems, tons of issues. I'm a real person, just like you guys. So, if you're interested in hearing from a strange, weird, normal person, yes, normal, really, then stick around. But, let me give my first shout out. It's Palmetto Prepared, and the link will be up here. Sorry if I abuse the name, even though that's named after or similar to the name of one of my favorite gun stores, is Palmetto Armory. I just can't pronounce it. Sorry, there's bugs out here that think my ears should be their nesting location. Very annoying. But anyways, so I think he's a great channel. He talks to us like that. He's an automotive technician, something I also used to do. I did that while I was going to school, and all sorts of interesting stories I could share about automotive things and strange cars people bring in that were horribly maintained, or, something they're talking about, hey, my temperature gauge isn't working right, something like that. You open up the radiator, there ain't anything in this thing. It's empty. What are you doing? Well, they didn't realize you had to add radiator fluid. And then you ask, well, did you notice a leak? Well, sometimes. Okay, you go look around, stuff like that. Oh, wow, look, hey, that water pump bearing is completely shot and it all leaked out of here. How long have you been driving it like this? A while? Oh, boy. I can tell you all sorts of stories sometime. Now, another person I'm going to shout out real quick is Hupple's Cat. I know. He's a little controversial, right? Actually, he's pretty good. I like his channel. I do actually like his channel quite a bit. Now, he's different, and it's good to get different perspectives, so don't go in an echo chamber. Go check out his channel. It'll be up here. Now, a quick note on British people. There's lots of people that don't fully understand Britishisms. My sister lived in Wales for a while, and so I got to hear Britishisms. And then I also had a tendency to watch British TV, British other things, and know a little bit, and also traveled around and stuff like that. And it turns out, British people have an interesting way of approaching an argument, particularly certain personalities in Britain or certain areas of where they're from in Britain. And a lot of them seem to approach it the same way. They approach it from this really strong, authoritarian point of view. It's like the queen talking down to her subjects. Da, 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 da. And they present it like that. And a lot of us out here, we consider it a little asinine, I guess you could say. But you just got to remember that's part of their culture of how they approach it. You do that, then you go, okay, well, this point I disagree with, this I disagree with, this is this, and lay it out and go back at them. And you don't have to be aggressive or mean anything, just go back at it politely with them, and you will often find that they're willing to discuss the points in much further, deeper detail, and you can actually get them to concede other points or go back and forth on. It works pretty well. You just got to remember, that's how they start a lot of things. It's their culture. And just be aware of that. Now, actually for me in my travels like that, some of the people I get along really well with turn out to be Russians. I communicate with them very effectively. Hi, Masha. How you doing? And I'll tell you about my trips and travels to Russia and everything else and the people out there. A lot to learn about Russians. I think, especially when you hear all the things they say about Russians in the news, and you're like, what the hell's wrong with you people? But that's a story for some other times, and we will definitely cover Russia. There's a lot to learn about Russia, and I think it's important to know about it, particularly since the news is so ridiculous about Russia. Ugh. Now, see, I actually grew up in a southern family, but I grew up in Colorado, so I don't have the accent. However, I have a lot of southernisms in my speech patterns. Like, if you grew up with a southern mom, you're probably used to your southern mom saying, hey, would you like to go do blah? Well, blah happens to not be a, please get around to this at your point of time, or go do this for your enjoyment. It's more of like, do this or else. It's a sort of request. Now, Lee doesn't like that sort of speech pattern that I still have from Southernisms and several other Southernisms in my speech pattern. So when I say things like that, she's like, no, or just sits there like a bump on a log. Doesn't understand that, I'm actually asking in the polite manner, but actually saying go do blah. Yeah, it doesn't really come across with her very well. So I've had to learn this, and she's had to learn Southernisms and stuff. Yeah, I have to pay for therapy bills for the poor lady. I've traumatized her so badly. But there you go. Crazy things going on. Now, today's video, we're going to talk about comms again. Now, this is something I keep with me in my EDC. I don't always have it with me. For anyone out there who says, but Reed, an EDC means you always have it and you never ever forget. Sure, George. If you haven't forgotten anything, I don't believe you. Now, I've forgotten things. It happens to me. I try really hard to not screw up, to not forget things, to be very, very careful, but it happens. That's life, right? You just got to deal with that. Now, I really like this radio. I can set it to 2 different channels and monitor stuff. Well, let me tell you why this was really important and why I really encourage people to get some comms. We were getting ready to go out to the town to go get some stuff and things, and it was interesting as we saw the police driving up roads, swinging around, going to the dead ends, coming back around the cul-de-sacs, stuff like that. It was like, what's going on with the local PD? Then we start going in, and we turn in the main road, get into town, and there's a big cloud of smoke. I mean, it was huge. I'm like, oh boy. Lee, grab the radio. So she grabs the radio, gets it out, because I'm driving, and we turn it on, and we set it to the fire station, and we set it to the local police and see what's going on. Local police, not state police. So we went there because that's what the local cars were. And we heard the police were looking for some sort of Trans Am for something, or a Pontiac or something like that. It was really some crime they were after, trying to find where this person went. But we heard all the fire trucks, so like that, and things going on. And it had been windy. I mean, it gets windy out here in the spring. I mean, like crazy windy. Insanely windy. And I figured something went wrong. I mean, fire, right? Something's going wrong. It's not like we planned this. Well, we quickly heard on the radio that the fire was actually a ways out past a bridge on the highway. Much further out than where we were heading. So I'm like, okay, we can keep going in. It's not like stop, turn around, because I don't want to get anywhere near this disaster of whatever it is. Because, I mean, it was a ton of smoke. Turned out the wind had knocked down a power line and caught several acres on fire. Took them over a day to get the darn thing contained. That's why there was so much smoke. But it's real nice to have a radio and go, oh wow, I can see what's going on. Also, times of emergency, you can really pick up with the hands and communicate with them. The other really nice thing is if you are in an area, and one of the other really nice things about having a radio like this and stuff like that, times of emergency, right? Cell phone channels can fill up completely, utterly completely be filled, and you're not going to get through at all. Or you're traveling through an area where there's no cell phone coverage. So all hell breaks loose. Well, you might be able to get through on another frequency. You might actually be able to transmit on one of the emergency channels and say, hey, I'm at these coordinates. My car is slid off the road. I am trapped. I can't get out. Please send help. It would be handy to have, right? Because most states, even though they don't have cell phones in every place, the states have actually put a lot of infrastructure in to maintain for like state police. So they got a lot of repeaters in place. Something to keep in mind. So I really recommend you get a radio. Now, this one doesn't work on the digital police and stuff like that. That's a Project 25. I'm going to get some digital stuff later that's portable so I can listen in on, see what's going on in that area. Now, some of those communications are encrypted, so we're kind of can't listen in on those. But for what I can, I'll do what I can. And like I said, also hams can let you know and stuff like that. I mean, it was real nice to be able to tune in on the fire and go, hey, what's going on, and realize what it was. So there's my quick tip for the day. Get a radio and keep it with you, or at least keep it in the car. I mean, that would be really handy in itself. So take care, everyone. This is Reed, out for now.